Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. So in today's class, we will solve some more previous year questions from JE of the topic relations and functions. So let us start. The images, text and other materials used in our presentations are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and the owners. If you are the owner and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the content immediately. Please note that parts of the content may have been generated using generative AI, which is experimental. Okay, let us move to the solution part. So let us move to the question part. Okay, so let's start with the question number 1, which says if the function is defined from f1 to infinity to 1 to infinity, right, which is here you can say domain is 1 to infinity and codomain is 1 to infinity, and the function f is defined as fx is equal to 2 to the power x into x minus 1, then we basically have to find the f inverse x, right? And the options are 1 by 2 to the power x into x minus 1, 1 by 2 into 1 plus root over 1 plus 4 log 2x, option C 1 by 2, 1 minus root over 1 plus 4 log 2x, and option D is not defined. Clear? So we basically have to find the like f inverse, right? So when will the f inverse be defined? F inverse will be defined when the function f is bijective, that is it should be both 1 function and onto function, right? So first we will try to check the bijectivity of the given function fx, whether it is both 1 or onto or not, right? Clear? And like if it is proved prove that like it has been proved that it is 1 or 1 and onto both, then like we can find the inverse by replacing x with y and y with x, right? We will replace y with x and x with y, right, to find the inverse, right? Got it? Before that we need to check the function to be 1 and onto. What is the condition of 1 We know that the condition of 1 is the function must be like either strictly increasing or strictly decreasing. Got it? Or like analytically you can say that if f of x1 is equal to f of x2, this implies x1 should be equal to x2. This is the condition of 1. And what is the condition of onto? Codomain should be equal to range, right? Or onto. Clear? So these conditions we need to check. So in this way you can try to solve this question or think about this question. You have 10 seconds to solve or think about this question. After that we will discuss the solution part. Okay, let us move to the solution part. The function f is defined from 1 to infinity to 1 to infinity, right? And it is defined as fx is equal to 2 to the power x into x minus 1, and we need to find the f inverse x. The correct option is option B, which is 1 by 2 into 1 plus root over 1 plus 4 log 2x, right? So let us move to the solution part. Let y equal to, we have assumed y is equal to 2 to the power x into x minus 1, where y greater than equal to 1 as x greater than equal to 1, right? Now taking log 2 on both sides, what we get? We will get log 2y is equal to log 2 to the power x into x minus 1. So what we will get? We will get log 2y is equal to x times x minus 1. Right. So after solving this, we will get to x square minus x minus log 2y is equal to 0. Right. And after solving this, we will get x as x is equal to 1 plus minus root over 1 plus 4 log 2y upon 2. Got it? Now like for log greater than equal to 1, for y greater than equal to 1, because we have assumed like we have taken y greater than equal to 1 because x greater than equal to 1, right? As x greater than equal to 1, so y will be greater than equal to 1. Therefore, you can see that codomain is equal to range, right? And also it is 1 function, so it is bijective. Therefore, we can we can find out the inverse of the given function, right? So like for y greater than equal to 1, log 2y will be greater than equal to 0, and 4 log 2y will be greater than equal to 0, right? Therefore, we can say that 1 plus 4 log 2y will be greater than equal to 1, right? 1 plus 4 log 2y will be greater than equal to 1. Therefore, root over 1 plus 4 log 2y will be greater than equal to 1. Clear? So, we can say that minus of root over 1 plus 4 log 2y will be less than equal to minus 1, right? Minus of root over 1 plus 4 log 2y will be less than equal to minus 1, right? So, 1 minus root over 1 plus 4 log 2y will be less than equal to 0. But x is greater than equal to 1, right? So, x is equal to 1 minus root over 1 plus 4 log 2y upon 2 is not possible, right? Because this expression is basically, see, 1 minus the numerator part, which is 1 minus root over 1 plus 4 log 2y is less than equal to 0. But x is given as greater than equal to 1. Clear? So, x is equal to 1 minus root over 1 plus 4 log 2y upon 2 is not possible, right? Therefore, we will take x is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 plus 1 by 2 into 1 plus root over 1 plus 4 log 2y, right? X is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 plus root over 1 plus 4 log 2y. Clear? Hence, we can say that f inverse y is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 plus root over 1 plus 4 log 2y. Got it? So, we can say that f inverse x is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 plus root over 1 plus 4 log 2x. Clear? Got it? So, in this way, we found f inverse x, right? Okay, let us move to the next question. Next question says, if fx is equal to 3x minus 5, then what will be the value of f inverse x, right? Fx is given as 3x minus 5, then we need to find the value of f inverse x, right? And the options are, f inverse x is given by 1 by 3x minus 5. It is given by x plus 5 upon 3. F inverse x does not exist because f is not 1, 1. And it does not exist because f is not on 2, right? So, which option will be correct? So, what you need to check? See, first we need to find the value of f inverse x, right? So, for the f inverse x, the function must be bijective, right? The function must be bijective. That is, it must be both 1, 1 and on 2, right? Function must be both 1, 1 and on 2. Clear? So, we will check the condition of the function to be both 1, 1 and on 2, right? So, what will be the condition of 1, 1? For the function 1, 1, we can check fx1 should be equal to f of x2. Then this imply x1 will be equal to x2, right? X1 will be equal to x2. Then we can say that the function is 1, 1. Clear? This condition is for 1, 1. Clear? And for on 2, what should be the condition? Again, codomain should be equal to range, right? Codomain should be equal to range for the function to become on 2. Clear? So, in this way, you can try to think about this question. You have 10 seconds to solve or think about this question. After that, we will discuss the solution part. Okay, let us move to the solution part. The question was, if fx is equal to 3x minus 5, then the value of f inverse x is. We need to find the value of f inverse x. The correct answer is option B, and it is given by x plus 5 upon 3. Right? Correct answer option is given by option B, and it is given by x plus 5 upon 3. Right? It's given that fx is equal to 3x minus 5. Right? It is given in the question. Let y is equal to fx, and it is equal to 3x plus 5, right? Let y is equal to fx, and it is equal to 3x minus 5 as it is given in the question. So, y plus 5 will be equal to 3x, right? Y plus 5 will be equal to 3x. So, we can say that x will be equal to y plus 5 upon 3, right? X will be equal to y plus 5 upon 3. Therefore, we can say that f inverse y will be equal to y plus 5 upon 3, right? F inverse y will be equal to y plus 5 upon 3. Got it? So, f inverse x will be equal to x plus 5 upon 3. So this is basically the f inverse x that we need to find, right? So option B is the correct option. Got it? Option B, f inverse x will be equal to x plus 5 upon 3, right? So if we need to find the reflection of any function across a constant line, right? So if the constant line is y is equal to x, right? If constant line is y is equal to x, then we will calculate the inverse of the function. And if a line is another line, then we will take the reflection of that point that we have already learned in class 11th, right? How to take reflection of any point, right? You'll use that this formula, x minus x1 upon a, y minus y1 upon b is equal to 2 times ax1 plus by1 plus c upon a square plus b square. This point will give you the image of point x1 y1. Xy is basically the image of point x1 y1, right? Okay, if you want to find reflection of a given function with respect to a given line, then you will take any point, you will take some point like x1 y1 on the x1 y1 of the given function. Then you will take the reflection of that point with respect to the given line, right? And from the point which we have which we have got, from that point you will draw another function which is passing through that point, right? Clear? You will take 2 or 3 points from the previous function, and you will get 2 or 3 points, reflected points from the line ax plus by plus c. And after getting the 2 or 3 points, you will easily find the function, right? So this is the only way you can do. Got it? And if you just have to simply find the reflection of any function with respect to line y and x, then you can directly find the inverse of that function, right? You'll get the reflection of that function with respect to line y equal to x, right? Understood? Okay, let us move to the next question. Okay, this question says if g of fx is equal to mod of sin x, right? G of fx is equal to absolute value of sin x, and f of gx is equal to sine root x whole square, right? F of gx is equal to sine root x whole square. Then we need to find what is the value of function fx and gx, right? G of fx is given, f of gx is given. Then we need to find basically fx and gx, right? So how will you approach with this question? The composite functions are given, that is g of fx is given and f of gx is given, right? So by using the given options, you can easily find by taking fx and gx, right? By taking fx and gx and calculating f of gx and g of fx, you can easily find which options is matching with our answer, right? Yeah, eliminating options. You can try with eliminating options. Okay, so in this way you can try to think about this question. You have 10 seconds to solve or think about this question. After that, we will discuss the solution part. Okay, let's move to the solution part. So the function given was if g of fx is equal to mod sin x and f of gx is equal to root f of gx is equal to sine root x whole square, then we need to find fx and gx. Option A will be the correct option. So fx is sine square x and gx is root over x, right? So let us see how we got this fx and gx, right? So let us move to the solution part. So we will try eliminating options. So let fx equal to sine square x as given in option A and gx is equal to root over x. So if we calculate f of gx, then we will get f of gx, right? And gx is root x. Then we need to find f of root x, right? Then it will be sine square root x, right? Sine square root x. Clear? And if we want to find g of fx, then g of fx and g of sine square x, right? G of sine x is sine square x and gx is root x. So we can write root over sine square x, which will be mod x, right? Clear? So by using option A, we got like f of gx as sine square root x, which is given as sine root x whole square, and g of fx is basically mod sin x, which is given as g of fx is equal to mod sin x, right? So option A is correct. Option A is correct one, right? If we take option B, let fx is equal to sin x and gx is equal to mod x, what can we find? F of gx will be f into f of gx, then it is equal to f of mod x, then it is equal to sin mod x, and it will not be equal to sin root x whole square, right? Sin mod x not equal to sin root x whole square. Now let us see. Let us move to the option C. Let us check for option C. When fx is equal to x square and gx is equal to sin root x, fx is equal to x square and gx is equal to sin root x. So f of gx will be equal to f of gx, and it is equal to f of sin root x, and it will be equal to sin root x whole square, right? And g of fx will be equal to g of fx, and it is equal to g of x square, and it is equal to sin root over x square, right? And after solving this, you will get sin mod x, which is not equal to mod sin x. Got it? Okay, so let us move to the next question, right? This question says let fx is equal to x plus 1 whole square minus 1 when x greater than equal to minus 1, then the set x such that fx is equal to f inverse x is. Which of the following options will be correct? We basically have to find a set in which x such that fx will be equal to f inverse x, right? And the options are 0, 1, minus 3 plus iota root 3 by 2, and minus 3 minus iota root 3 by 2. Option B is 0, 1, minus 1, and option C is 0, minus 1, and option D is empty set. So what we need to do here, we need to first find the f inverse x, right? We need to first find the f inverse x and equate fx is equal to f inverse x, right? Fx is given. If we will find f inverse x, then we can easily equate fx and then f inverse x to get the value of x, right? Clear? And how can you find the like f inverse x? In the function y is equal to x plus 1 whole square minus 1, you will replace x with y and y with x, and you will calculate y in terms of x, right? You will calculate y in terms of x. Got it? So in this way, you can try to think about this question. So you have 10 seconds to solve or think about this question. After that, we will discuss the solution part. Okay, let us move to the solution part. The question was let fx is equal to x plus 1 whole square minus 1 when x greater than equal to minus 1. Then the set x, we need to find the set x in which fx is equal to f inverse x. Correct option is option C, right? Option C, 0 and minus 1, right? Option C is correct, 0 and minus 1. So let us move to the solution part. Given that fx is equal to x plus 1 whole square minus 1 when x is greater than equal to minus 1, right? Fx is given as x plus 1 whole square minus 1 when x is greater than equal to minus 1, right? So fx is equal to f of minus, so f of x is equal to f inverse x, right? Fx is equal to f of f inverse x. This imply f of fx is equal to x, right? We can say that f of fx is equal to x. Clear? So x plus 1 whole square minus 1 plus 1 whole square minus 1 will be equal to x, right? F of fx when we will calculate, and it is equal to x, right? So let us find out. So we can say that x plus this 1 and this minus 1 will cancel out, and left hand side will become x plus 1 whole to the power 4, and this minus 1 will go to this side. So we are left with x plus 1 whole to the power 4 is equal to x plus 1, right? So when we will move x plus 1 to the left hand side, we can take x plus 1 as common, and we will get x plus 1 into x plus 1 whole cube minus 1 equal to 0. Clear? So how can we find like value of x? One value of x will be minus 1, right? So x will be equal to minus 1 or 0. Clear? X will be equal to minus 1 and 0. Got it? So you can say that the required set is basically 0 and minus 1, right? Required set will be 0 and minus 1. Got it? Therefore, option C, 0 and minus 1 will be the correct choice. Right? Option C, 0 and minus 1 will be the correct choice. Okay. Okay, let us move to the next question. Okay. So this question says let fx is equal to sin x and gx is equal to ln mod x, right? Fx is equal to sin x and gx is equal to ln mod x. If the ranges of the composition function fog and gof are r1 and r2 respectively, then which option will be correct one? R1 is equal to u such that u is from minus 1 to 1. R2 is equal to v such that R2 is equal to v such that v is equal to v is from minus infinity to 0. R1 is equal to u such that u is from minus infinity to 0. R2 is equal to v such that v is from minus 1 to 0. Option C is R1 is equal to u such that u is from minus 1 to 1. R2 is equal to v such that v is from minus infinity to 0. And option D is R1. Option D is R1 is equal to u such that u is from minus 1 to 1, and like R2 is equal to v such that v is from minus infinity to 0, right? So see, fx is given, gx is given, then we can easily find the value of fog and gof, right? We can easily find the value of fog and gof. And like after finding the value of fog and gof, we will find the range of fog and gof, and R1 and R2 will be the range, right? And we will compare the range from the given options, right? Many students are saying option D is correct. Let us see. So you have 10 seconds to solve or think about this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution part. Okay, let us move to the solution part. The given function fx is equal to sin x and gx is equal to ln mod x. If ranges of the composition function fog and gof are r1 and r2 respectively, then option D will be correct option, right? Option D will be the correct option. R1 will be u such that u is from minus 1 to 1, and R2 will be v such that v is from minus infinity to 0, right? So let's move to the solution part. The given fx is given as fx is equal to sin x, and gx is given as gx is equal to ln mod x, right? Now fog x can be written as equal to f of gx, and it is equal to sin ln mod x, right? It is equal to sin ln mod x. Therefore, R1 will be equal to u such that u is from minus 1 to 1, right? R1 is equal to u such that u is from minus 1 to 1. Because we know that sin theta is always between minus 1 to 1, right? Sin theta will always lie between minus 1 to 1 for all theta, right? Because we have like we got f of gx as sine of ln x, right? So whatever be the value of like ln x, sine of ln x will always lie between minus 1 to 1. Therefore, R1 will be like u such that u is from minus 1 to 1, right? Let us check for g of fx. So g of fx will be g of fx, right? Which we will get as ln mod sin x, right? Ln mod sin x. See, and mod sin x will always lie between 0 to infinity, 0 to 1, right? Mod sin x will always lie between 0 to 1, right? So taking log on both sides, what we will get? Ln mod sin x will be minus infinity to 0, right? Ln mod sin x, we will get ln mod sin x is equal to ln mod sin x is from minus infinity to 0, right? Hence, we can say that the range R2, therefore range R2 is such that v is from minus infinity to 0, right? Range R2 is v such that v is from minus infinity to 0. Got it? Therefore, option D, R1 is equal to U such that U is from -1 to 1, R2 is equal to V such that V is from minus infinity to 0, right? Clear? So hope you understood this question. Let us move to the next question, right? This question says which of the following functions is periodic? Which of the following given function is periodic function? Option A is fx equal to x minus greatest integer function of x, where box x is denotes the greatest integer less than or equal to the real number x, right? Fx is equal to sine 1 by x for x not equal to 0, and f0 is equal to 0. Option C is fx equal to x cos x, and option D is none of the above, right? You have to check whether which of the given function is periodic function, right? So what is periodic function? Periodic function is basically the function which repeats its value after the certain interval, right? Many students are saying option A is correct. Let us see. Yes, you are right. It is a fractional part of x, right? So, you have 10 seconds to solve or think about this question. After that, we will discuss the solution part. Okay, let us move to the solution part. The question is which of the following function is periodic function? So, option A will be the correct one, where it is given it is equal to fx is equal to fx is equal to x minus greatest integer function of x, right? A will be the correct option, right? So let us move to the solution part. Clearly, fx is equal to x minus greatest integer function of x, right? Which is equal to fractional part of x, right? We know that fractional part of x, like x can be written as x is equal to greatest integer function of x plus fractional part of x, right? So we can find the fractional part of x as x minus greatest integer function of x, right? Clear? Which repeats its value in the interval 1, right? Which has period 1, right? Clear? And sine 1 by x and x cos x are non-periodic function, right? Because it is not repeating in any particular interval, right? Therefore, option A, fx is equal to fractional part or x minus greatest integer function of x is periodic function having period 1, right? Therefore, option A is the correct option, right? Okay, let us move to the next question. This question says let fx equal to absolute value of x minus 1, then which option is correct one? F of x square is equal to f of x whole square. Option B, f of option B is f of x plus y is equal to fx plus fy. F of mod x is equal to mod fx, and option D, none of the above is correct, right? Fx is given, right? So we can easily find these values: f of x plus y, f of x we can find, f of y we can find, f of mod x we can find, mod of fx we can find, right? Clear? We can easily find. Okay. So in this way, you can try to think about this question. You have 10 seconds to solve or think about this question. After that, we will discuss the solution part, right? Okay, let us move to the solution part. Many students is saying like option D, some students is saying option C. Okay, let us see which option is correct one. The question was f x is equal to mod of x minus 1, right? Then correct option is option D, none of the above, right? Correct option is option D, none of the above, right? Let us see. Let us see the solution part. Given fx equal to mod of x minus 1, right? So f of x square will be mod of x square minus 1, right? F of x square will be equal to mod of x square minus 1, right? And f of x whole square will be equal to x minus 1 whole square. Clear? So f of x square will not be equal to f of x whole square. Hence, option A is false, right? Option A is false. Let us check option B. Also, f of x plus y will be equal to mod of x plus y minus 1, right? And f of x is equal to x mod of x minus 1. And f of y is equal to mod of y minus 1. So f of x plus y will not be equal to f of x plus f of y. Hence, option B is also false, right? Option B is also false. Let us check option C. F of mod x will be equal to mod of mod x minus 1, right? F of mod x will be mod of mod x minus 1. And mod f x will be equal to mod of mod x minus 1, which is equal to mod x minus 1. So f of mod x will not be equal to mod fx, right? F of mod x will not be equal to mod fx. Hence, option C is also false. Clear? Hence, we can say that like none of the like A, B, C is correct one. So option D, none of the above is correct option, right? Option D will be the correct option. Option D will be the correct one. Okay, let us move to the next question. This question says, let fx is equal to x square plus 9, gx is equal to x upon x minus 9, a is equal to f of g 10, b is equal to g of f 3, and E and L denotes the eccentricity and length of the lattice rectum of the ellipse x square by a plus y square by b is equal to 1. Then we need to find the value of 8e square plus L square. We need to find the value of 8e square plus L square. And the options are option A 6, option B 12, option C 8, and option D 16. This question was asked in JMAS 2024, right? So this is a good question. You need to clear the concept of uh, ellipse also, like what is lattice rectum, what is eccentricity, right? Clear? Fx is given, gx is given. So this question is a combination of the two concepts, which is composite function and the ellipse topic, right? Clear? So if any one of the concept you don't know, you'll not be able to solve this question in the exam, right? That's why it is asked. It has been suggested that like you need to complete whole syllabus before going to the exam, right? Okay. So the ellipse is given in the form of x square upon a plus y square upon b, right? Clear? It is not a square, it is not b square, right? Many student confuses here also, right? It is like a square is like suppose capital A square is taken as a and a small like capital B square is taken as b, right? And ellipse is of the form a x square upon capital A square plus y square upon capital B square is equal to 1, right? Ellipse is of this form, right? Okay. Many student is saying option B is correct one. See, if this is the standard ellipse, what is its lattice rectum? Length of the lattice rectum is 2b square upon a square, right? 2b square upon a square, right? Clear? You also apply the formula of eccentricity. First, you need to find the f of gx and g of fx, right? You need to find the f of gx and g of fx. Many student is saying option B is correct. Many student is saying option C is correct. So let us see. So you have 10 seconds to solve or think about this question. After that, we will discuss the solution part. Okay, let us move to the solution part. Question is fx is equal to x square plus 9, gx is equal to x upon x minus 9, and a is given as f of g10 and b is given as g of f3. And if E and L denotes the eccentricity and the length of the lattice rectum of the ellipse, x square upon a plus y square upon b is equal to 1, then we need to find the value of 8e square plus L square is equal to, right? So option C will be the correct option, right? Option C, the value of 8e square plus L square will be equal to 8, right? Clear? So let us see how can we approach this question. How can we solve this question? We know, like, first we need to find the f of gx and g of fx, right? So let us move to the solution part. It is given that fx is equal to x square plus 9 and gx is equal to x upon x minus 9, right? Fx is equal to x square plus 9 and gx is equal to x upon x minus 9. So a is equal to f of g10, right? F of gx is x upon x minus 9. So f of 10 upon 10 minus 9. So it is equal to f of 10, right? So a is equal to f of 10. And what will be f of 10? Fx is equal to x square plus 9, right? So f of 10 will be equal to, what will be f of 10? 10 square plus 9, right? Which is equal to 109, right? So f of 10 will be equal to 109. Now let us calculate the value of b. B will be g of f3. B is g of f3. And what is f3? F3 is basically 3 square, which is 9 plus 9. So like g of 9 plus 9. So it is equal to g of 18. We need to find the value of g of 18, right? And what will be the value of g of 18? It is equal to 18 upon 18 minus 9, right? Which is equal to 18 upon 9, which is equal to 2, right? Clear? So b is equal to 2, right? B is equal to 2. Now equation of ellipse will be, what will be the equation of ellipse? Equation of ellipse will be x square upon 109 plus y square upon 2 is equal to 1, right? Equation of ellipse will be x square upon 109 plus y square upon 2 will be x square upon 109 plus y square upon 2 is equal to 1. Clear? So eccentricity of the ellipse will be equal to, we know the formula eccentricity of ellipse. If the ellipse of the form x square upon a square, like plus y square upon b square is equal to 1, then how can we find eccentricity is equal to root over 1 minus b square upon a square, right? Right, 1 minus root over b square, 1 minus b square upon a square. And we know that here like a square is equal to a and b square is equal to b, right? A square is equal to small a and b square is capital B square is equal to small b. Therefore we can find the eccentricity as root over 1 minus b by a. Got it? So you can say that a is equal to root a and b is equal to, right, root b. Clear? So like you can put the value of a and b, right? Which we will get root over 1 minus 2 upon 109. And after solving this, you will get root over 107 upon 109, right? Root over 107 upon 109. So you can get e square is equal to 107 upon 109, right? E square will be equal to 107 upon 109. And L, length of the lattice rectum will be like, what is the length of lattice rectum? 2b square upon 2b square upon a. 2b square upon a. So b square is equal to b here, and capital A is equal to root of small a, right? Capital A is equal to root of small a. So you can write length of lattice rectum L is equal to 2 upon root a, which you will get 2 times 2 upon root over 109, which after solving you will get 4 upon 109, right? 4 upon 109. Clear? And after putting the value of L and E square is 107 upon 109 and L is equal to 4 upon root over 109. So therefore you will get 8 E square plus L square is equal to 8 times 107 upon 109 plus 16 upon 109, and after solving and simplifying this, you will get the value of 8 E square plus L square is equal to 8. Clear? So 8 will be the right answer. Clear? 8 will be the right answer. Okay. Okay, let's move to the next question. This question says, let f at g f and g are given as from R to R be defined as fx equal to mod x minus 1 and gx is equal to e to the power x when x is greater than equal to 0, and it is equal to x plus 1 when x is less than equal to 0, right? Fx equal to mod x minus 1 and gx is equal to e to the power x when x is greater than equal to 0 and x plus 1 when x is less than equal to 0. Then we need to find the value of f of gx, right? We need to find the value of f of gx. And the options are f of gx is 1 1 but not on 2, neither 1 1 nor on 2 but not 1 1, and both 1 1 and on 2, right? Both 1 1 and on 2. So see, what is the properties of 1 1 and on 2? For 1 1 and on 2, 1 1 for 1 1, if like we can easily draw the graph of the function, we will try to draw the graph of the function, right? We will try to draw the graph of the function, and while drawing the graph of the function, we will draw a line. After drawing the graph of the function, we will draw a line which is parallel to x-axis, and if that line is cutting the curve at one point, then we can say that the function is 1 1. And if it is cutting at more than one point, then we can say that the function is many one, right? Suppose like we have a function like this one, right? So if we draw any line parallel to x-axis, right, it is cutting the curve at only one point, then we can say that the given function is 1 1 function, right? Given function is 1 1 function. Got it? And for onto function, what you need to check for onto function, you will check whether the codomain is equal to range or not. Codomain is given as r, all real value, right? So after calculating the value of f of gx, you will find the range of the function. Clear? And if codomain is equal to range, then we can say that the function is onto, and if it is codomain is not equal to range, then we can say that the function is not onto, right? So in this way, you can try to approach this question, right? You have 10 seconds to solve or think about this question. After that, we will discuss the solution part. B and D. Okay, D option is correct. One student is saying D option is correct. Let us check. Let us check which option is correct one, right? So the function f and g is defined from R to R. Be defined as fx is equal to mod x minus 1 and gx is equal to ex when x is greater than equal to 0 and x plus 1 when x is less than equal to 0. Then the function g of fx, then the function f of gx. Right, f of gx is correct option is will be option D, option B, neither 1 1 nor on 2, right? So the given f of gx will be neither 1 1 nor on 2. So option B will be the correct option, right? Let us move to the solution part. How option B is correct one? Let us see. So let us move to the solution part. F is defined from R to R, right? F is defined from all R to R, all real value to all real value. So fx will be equal to mod of x minus 1, right? Fx will be equal to mod of x minus 1, right? So f of gx will be equal to mod of gx minus 1, right? F of gx will be equal to mod of gx minus 1. So like which we can write it as gx minus 1 when gx minus 1 greater than equal to 0, because like fx is mod x minus 1, and it will be equal to minus of gx minus 1 when gx minus 1 less than 0, right? So like it will be equal to gx minus 1 when gx greater than equal to 1, and 1 minus gx when gx less than 1, right? Now let us check for gx. Since gx is basically e to the power x, will always be greater than equal to 1, right? Will always be greater than equal to 1 when x is greater than equal to 0, right? Therefore we can say that gx is equal to x plus 1, and gx is equal to x plus 1 is smaller than equal to 1 when x is greater than equal to 0, right? It is basically smaller than equal to 1. So f of gx will be equal to e to the power x minus 1 when x is greater than equal to 0, and minus of x plus 1 minus 1 when x is less than 0, right? So we can say that f of gx will be equal to e to the power x minus 1 when x is greater than equal to 0, and it will be equal to minus of x when x is less than 0. So when you'll draw the graph of f of gx, you'll get this graph, right? It is equal to e to the power x minus 1 when x is greater than 0, greater than equal to 0, and it is equal to y is equal to minus x when x is less than 0, right? Y is equal to minus x when x is less than 0. This is the graph of f of gx. Therefore we can say that the function is neither 1 1 or not on 2. Why? Because see, for 1 1, if we draw any line parallel to x-axis, it is cutting the curve at 2 points, right? It is cutting the curve at 2 points. Clear? So it is not 1 1. And why it is not on 2? Because see, in codomain it is given as all real value, but range will be x greater like range will be y greater than equal to 0, right? Range will be y greater than equal to 0. It is not like, it is excluding all the negative integers, right? It is excluding all the negative integers. Therefore codomain is not equal to range, right? Codomain is not equal to range here. We can say that, f of gx is neither 1 1 nor on 2, right? Okay, thank you so much.